tuned for sports.
Keeping score with Jess and Dean, the Dream.
It is Sunday, October 22nd. Good morning, Dean. How are you?
Terrific. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you are terrific. It's nice to see you smiling.
Light purple sweatshirt. I like it. Little hoodie action.
Well, because I'm going to go out later today, and I felt as though, like, this is not, fancy gear, but it's enough that I can get away with, going somewhere nice. Somewhere decent, not like a date night.
Going pumpkin picking.
You got like the shoes to match.
Oh, you got the little, look at the light purple and the kicks.
You got to coordinate.
You got to coordinate, yeah.
So how was your week?
I can't complain.
Good.
I'm just busy at work. I'm busy at work. Yeah, no, I was busy out of work too, but I was very busy at work. I'm slammed. So, things are good. And I've been just prepping a lot for the show. Just getting ready. We got a lot of things going on.
How is your Wi-Fi at home? Did you get that fixed?
No.
Where are you getting these envelopes, by the way?
I get them from work after I do my envelope for the house for Antonio's. I take a couple on the road with me, maybe to PJ's for a Jack Fire and a couple of suds.
Yeah.
And I get I at least get the birthdays done.
Yeah.
So later on in birthdays, I have to make an amendment. I made a little snafu on one of my birthdays.
What? Vanessa Marcel is not single?
Well, no. Well, you were looking into that for me.
She's a looker. That's worth fighting for over there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah. I bet you have.
It's been a good week. It's been a good week.
No complaints. I love it. But yeah, you have an amendment to do on that.
Yep.
Your Wi-Fi still sucks. We're coming over next Monday, and I'm fixing it in the cave.
I gotta say,
do you have it anywhere in your house, or just not downstairs?
It's in like the. No, I don't have it anywhere. You mean like access to it where it's working? I never really went downstairs and tried. I've gone in the boiler room and tried to tweak all the equipment.
No, don't do that.
In, out.
No, oh, okay. I don't know what equipment you're doing in and out in the boiler room.
Too much class for that one. I'm sorry. That didn't come out the way it was. All right.
Well, anyway, that's what she said. All right. So you had a good week.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to highlight before we get... Oh, let's give a shout-out. Let's do extra shout-outs.
Yeah.
To Angela. And who is it, Tammy?
Tammy, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
They listen to you every week on Pro FM, and obviously our segment together on Pro FM every Friday at 4:40.
Yeah.
They love it, but she listens to you all week, Tammy, and she's very excited to hopefully meet you someday. I know I'm in the presence of greatness, but she took it to another level the other night. I was like, no, she is. She's terrific. She goes, you guys are great together, but she seems like wonderful, McGash. She's the real deal.
Well, listen, we're gonna have to get her a signed hoodie or something like that. We have merchandising.
By the way, thank you for my I don't know what you call it. It looks like
it's a business card holder.
Yeah, I went to like 12 stores and couldn't find one.
Yeah, that's why it's called Amazon.
Oh, wow.
This is the only man that does not use Amazon. Look at that.
I'm flashing it on YouTube. Thanks to Steve, our producer. I'm able to put it up, the visual now.
Yeah.
And keeping score. I got my business cards. I told you they get a little frazzled, a little tweaked if you got an elastic around them.
Yes.
It just looks more professional now.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're a big boy now. But yeah, Amazon has everything. But I actually had that, so it saved us some money because we're going to need it for all the sweatshirts.
Oh, you're killing me. Jess, I got to admit, I got to tell you, I got to say this again. We have a lot of loyal listeners, but Steve Eccleston, if I'm saying the name right, we talked about him, the real estate guy that's always at PJ's. Not only does he I can always hear him out of the corner of their left ear telling someone else that I don't know at the bar, Dean and Jess, you're going to listen. The other night, he gave him the business card.
Yeah.
He's like, you got another one, and he gave it to the girl that had a, what shirt did she have on it? Did she have either Buffalo Bills? No, she had a Cincinnati Bengals shirt on.
Oh.
I was like, okay. And she was defending the whole Burrow thing, the leg. She knew her stuff.
Yeah, okay, good.
But she's like, yeah, well, listen. So, he's helping us. He's doing everything he can to give us more promotion.
No,
so
Steve's
it's nice that we have people that care about our brand and they want to build with us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We'll see them at PJ's Pub. We'll see. Definitely, Steve will be there on Saturday. We'll buy him a drink.
Absolutely. And not to get ahead of things, but on Halloween night, we will be filling in for K-Mac again.
Yes, we will be on 99.7. 630 WPRO from 6 to 7.
And you know what I'm happy about? Live, we can take phone calls. And you know what? You do such a great job producing this show along with Steve with the YouTube stuff now. But that's kind of a night of a break for you.
It is.
Because you're just basically, you and I are you're the host and I'm the co-host. And it's like, here we are doing our thing. And you don't have to worry about it. You got the guy through the glasses.
Andrew. Andrew's great.
And we're going to be taking calls. And I can promise you we have calls lined up.
Yeah.
For that night.
How much did you pay people to call?
I put all my money towards the swag. bag. I got nothing left.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, yeah, so we're looking forward to that. I do want to start the show by saying subscribe to our YouTube channel, Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. I know we call you the Dream, but it was too many letters, so it's Keeping Score with Jess and Dean.
No, I like
subscribe.
I like when you do the announcement. You say it's Jess and Dean the Dream, but I'm just Dean to you.
Yeah. You're just my Dean.
Aww.
My dream.
Well, I was telling Tammy after after she came into the restaurant the other night, and she said, I told her right out, I said, she's definitely the most loyal female that I have in my life. I mean, my mother, who's a total pain in my backside.
She also birthed you,
so
she kind of has
into this world, and if she keeps it up, she's going to take me out of this world. But no, other than that, I will say that you are the one girl that I can trust.
Of course, 100%.
And you've always got my back.
We're a team.
No,
You're my partner. I love you. Want a hug?
Oh, wow. This is a lot to process right now. All right.
Love. All right, now my mom's going to be like, cut to the sports.
All right. Yeah, enough of the intro. Assassin wants to hear sports.
All right, let's go.
Picks of the weeks. Let's do it.
Let's go. Football.
Jimmy takes the snap, stands in, plenty of time, throws to the end zone, caught, touchdown, under the goalpost. It's Jacoby Myers.
What a dart. What a dart from Garoppolo. And it's Myers in the opening in the back middle. As your offense can't gain a yard, Jimmy Garoppolo takes him right down. And what a throw, wide open, uncalled for in the back underneath the goalpost. Wide open. That guy. No. That is salt in the wound.
Thornton on the outside. Parker to the left. Jones is in the end zone. He'll be sacked by Crosby. It's a safety.
Pure offense ineptitude. It's a multitude of errors all across the board. Line, quarterback, receivers, backs, coaching. Period. I'm done.
The Patriots have plummeted to 1-5 with Buffalo and Miami on the horizon.
The same questions are going to continue. What changes are you going to make? What division's going to be within that locker room? Defense hanging in there. Offense can't move it. Guy that gets the biggest extension in the offseason has the drop right there at the end of the game to give you no chance.
Oh, my goodness. It was a lot last week, and I know we don't need to spend too much time on it because they lost again, although their closest match or game within weeks. But the Patriots still suck. I do have a question. I mean, obviously, in the play-by-play, we know what happened, but my biggest question is what's going on with Cunningham? They laugh almost about even suiting him up, and then they suit him up, and then they make him a quarterback.
Yeah, and it was an odd play. I don't think anybody knew what was happening.
Including that.
I don't think the Raiders even knew what to do. They just said, all right, like, it was a busted play from Jump Street. I don't know what Bill O'Brien's doing, and there has to be accountability in all the personnel guys. Yeah, whether it's O'Brien, whether it's defense, or special teams. And I don't know what Bill's doing, and we haven't seen any growth. Granted, he doesn't have a lot to work with.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I mean, he was brought in. Everybody was so happy. And I told you during the offseason, it's kind of perplexing and a little concerning when you're going into a new season when the best free agent acquisition you made was your new offensive coordinator. And he has not lived up to the billing. I thought would do a little bit better than this. But it's clear that last year the offense, as bad as it was under the pencil, was actually better. This is scary right now.
I know.
And, the Cunningham thing, I don't know. There's still talent there. They just got to figure out a way to use him. And I didn't see it there. But Mac's not getting it done. Nobody's getting it done. They're still not running the ball effectively. Stevenson was a little better in this game. Zeke was okay.
Yeah.
But, and I'm going to circle back to Zolak. He touched on a few points in some of your sound there. And I got to say, all right, Garoppolo threw a dot, but I still think he stinks. And by the way, as soon as he went down, you saw him holding his back. He didn't want to be in that game anymore. And, of course, Brian Hoyer came in and stuck it to the Pats a little bit.
Well, so you had Garoppolo, you had Myers, and you had Hoyer. I mean, and Hoyer still doesn't look that great.
No, but what do you think the reasoning of Josh McDaniels to go with Hoyer there was because of the familiarity and because they knew the Patriots? Because the week before, he didn't get the start for Garoppolo. It was Aiden O'Connell, the 4th-round pick.
I thought, where's Jared Stidham?
Stidham's in Denver with Russell
that's
Wilson.
Right. They got, okay.
Waiting that one out.
He's going to be there anytime now.
He's waiting that one out. But no, I thought that was a little odd that O'Connell was the starter the week before, but they went to Hoyer this time. So I went to the third-string guy, and it worked out. I'm happy for Jacoby Myers. He's a nice player.
Yeah.
I told you Max Crosby was going to kill Mac Jones, and he almost did.
Oh,
okay.
Remember when it was towards the end of the game, and they actually blew the whistle before, and Max had a direct shot to Mac Jones, and I was like, this is when his head falls off.
Yeah. But of course, and Zolak alluded to it, that throw down the sideline was the best throw Mac of the day.
Yes, it was.
A terrific throw, and Devontae Parker, who's done nothing since he's been in New England.
And his attitude sucks.
Except get more money put in his lap. He's done nothing. He didn't come through. And by the way, that pick Mac threw early in the game when he rolled out right to throw it to Hunter Henry, that was disgusting, by the way. He airmailed it. I mean, it's
staying in the air forever.
It's turnover after turnover. I told you, it's Chad Pennington 2.0. He's got a lollipop arm. He can't make the throws. His decision-making stinks. And it's a bad product right now.
Why does he throw it so high? Because he doesn't have the arm? I don't understand that. Like, why doesn't he throw more darts? There's a lot that is just like, when is this thing coming down? Oh, okay, and then someone else has it.
Yeah, I don't think
because everybody in the team can get to that spot by that time.
I don't think he has the arm strength.
Right.
That's just point blank. I think he's an average, quarterback, and I think he needs a. I don't think it's going to happen now. The trade deadline's in a couple of weeks, but and you don't see a lot of trades in the NFL. He's in his third year. We know now that he is most likely 95%. I would say he's not the next guy. So I'm saying I think he needs to change his scenery and a new start somewhere else.
But do you think it's going to be more hurtful to the team to get someone brand new and start them all over again?
Well, I mean, you're talking about right now, midstream during the season, or next year?
Next year.
Next year, you got to figure it out. You got from now till next year. If you know Mac's not the guy, even if you roll with him the rest of the year, if you know he's not the next guy, you got to move him in the offseason and give him a fresh start. And again, we don't know what the record's going to be, so we don't know what quarterback's going to be.
It's going to be 17?
But there's still so many other bad teams right now. Carolina, they're mushing every game.
Carolina's going to win.
So I'm just saying there's other teams with one win right now. So don't be saying, all right, we got Caleb Williams. You don't know that that's going to happen.
No.
So right now, again, if they get the 6th or 7th pick, where are you? I don't know how many great quarterbacks there are. There's 3 or 4 guys that I know of for sure. But if you draft 8th or 9th, and Bill wins a couple of games late in the year when teams rest somebody.
True.
Now you go 4-13 instead of 1. It's a lot right now. It's a lot to process.
I just don't understand. I almost wonder at this point if they should just tank the season so they can get some draft picks.
Well, I don't think they have to say let's tank the season. I think they go out there to play and they're just real bad, so they're going to lose anyways.
There it is.
Oh, we're back to
Big flush. I do want to get to one thing because talking about coaching, Robert Kraft talking about Bill Belichick. It's a quick clip.
Now, 6 Super Bowls. He's now been with you 24 years. Is he going to stay for another X number of years, or he can stay forever?
I'll let you ask him. He has to
All right.
decide what's right for him.
Oh, sure. And I'm sure Bill Belichick will be the first guy to be like, oh, yeah, I'll be here for a couple more years. This is the guy that tells everybody nothing.
So I think that's a quick answer, just that it's Bill's call.
Yeah.
Not Robert's. The owner?
Yeah.
The owner's saying basically saying you got a lifetime pass because you got 6 Super Bowls.
Right.
So we can stink for the next, or tank for the next 5 years, but you still won 6.
Hey, listen, they have that big, beautiful tower. So, I mean, they got the lighthouse. It's gorgeous. I'm glad all the money went to that instead of players.
I didn't like that answer. Because it just tells me it's up to Bill. Bill can stay as long as he wants. And, again, I don't want to hear about Schuler.
I'm sure that's not what's
I don't
really
want to hear
happening.
about Schuler anymore. We're 1-5.
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
I like how you check your phone as if they lost earlier today. Like, did we miss the game or something? Still 1-5. Still suck.
It's bad.
All right, let's talk about the Bills today.
Yep.
They're at home, which doesn't mean anything. The Bills are giving them 8.5. Bills, as you mentioned before, not looking that great anyway. No. They could clean things up. I still think that they're going to destroy us.
They're going to get fat on the Pats. And the Greek assassin said, tell Jess to lay it in on, go right up to the window.
Yep.
Lay it in on the Bills.
Yep.
And then wait there for your money. It's an absolute chalk. They would have been my pick of the week, but it's too easy. I always stay away from.
Too easy.
I always stay away from the Patriots, whether I'm betting with them or against them, because they're my team.
Okay.
So I'm staying away from them, and I have a pick of the week later on. We'll talk about it with our picks.
Yeah.
But the assassin said lay it in on the Bills, and I don't see any chance the Pats can win this game, even though Buffalo did not look impressive in a home win on Sunday Night Football versus the Giants against their backup quarterback. Josh Allen's been okay. Diggs, he's had some good games. He's had some off games. They're struggling running the football, so the Patriots may have a chance to at least stop the run, but that opens up things for Allen to throw the ball all over the field.
Right, or taking himself.
Yeah, and of course, he can run. Jonathan Jones, ankle again. He's questionable. You got J.C. Jackson, who's in there playing a lot now. You got to play with what you have at this point. So it's going to be interesting, Jess. And of course, past that, you got the trade deadline coming in a couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what guys are on the move, because they're not going to clean house, but you might see a couple of guys that maybe, I don't want to say you're in contract squabbles, but like a guy like Josh Uche, who's looking for an extension, hasn't been worked out yet. He could get moved. His game's going to kind of go down a little, because now he's not going to get that unabated to the quarterback thing as much as he had before because Judon's not in there. So, and of course, Judon's replacement, Keon White, got hurt. So, like, there's a bunch of guys
and
that kind
Keon
of
White started the season very good, even preseason.
He's going to be a terrific player. So, there's definitely talent.
Who will he be playing for?
I have no idea. Doug is another guy that they're working on an extension, but it hasn't happened. I'd hate to see them lose him.
Right.
You know, so there's just a lot that can still happen. You got the deadline in a couple of weeks. So, this team's just like going nowhere fast. The schedule doesn't get any easier, and I don't know where they're going to find wins. It's not going to be today.
No, definitely not. Well, I mean, at least that's something we've never had this situation. Like, even last year, we're just like, we'll see. Yeah. They suck. But now we are in a new level of complete trash garbage. Use that for a clip.
It's difficult to watch. It's tough.
Sundays haven't been. Pencils in my eyes.
Haven't. I can only do so many target runs. I mean, I gotta.
And they suck.
Yeah, they do suck, and they're all about blowing it and whatever. All right, so we're going with the Bills today, even with the spread of the Patriots getting 8.5. Before we go into our picks, is there anything you want to talk about before we? Oh, this is what I do want to say. Mac Jones, and this is why the Greek Assassin is correct. I did order him a sweatshirt. Is that Mac Jones has never covered the spread. So
really?
There's never been he has never had a game where it's like, all right, well, we lost by 7.5.
Yeah.
So it's guaranteed money. He's right.
He don't cover, so you always go again. So why pick you can't pick the Patriots then? Whether even if they win the game, they're not covering the spread.
Because he is 0 for what, 14, whatever it is.
Well, I'm more on that little kick about how he's had no comeback wins in his career. They said one against Houston a couple of years ago. That was when they had the coach that shouldn't have been the coach of Houston. It was awful. Pats trailed all day. The Patriots pulled out in the end. It wasn't like a dramatic win, but he's had one comeback in 2+ seasons.
Yeah.
He's 6 games into his third season, so not looking good.
I really tried that game, but we're just gonna try more. All right, before we get into our picks, let's thank PJ's Pub as our sponsor. This is going to be fun, Dean. Actually, I'm taking my friend Shannon. It's going to be her bachelorette party. It's also, more importantly, their 15-year anniversary. It's going on all day and all night. And I asked PV, I'm like, well, Dean and I are obviously going to go. Can we make reservations? And he said no. So
no reses.
He's just like, I can't be responsible because it's going to be such a good time.
It's going to be nuts.
So we have Dave McGinn, my cousin. I love him. From 1 to 3. So we're starting off early. Then 3 to 6, Kevin Hershon. DJ Primetime coming in from 7 to 1 a.m. Here's the other thing that I learned this week. So Neutral, which I like, it's, a seltzer. I enjoy having them. I'm going to have a lot of those on Saturday, October 28th, because every time you have one, you get a raffle ticket, and then you're entered to win a 55-inch flat-screen TV. They have liquor baskets. I said maybe we should put in some Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream merch. Anyway, you drink Neutral, you get a ticket, and then you enter to win some fabulous prizes. It's PJ's Pub, 15-year anniversary. We're so excited to see our friends. Angie's going to be there. Mindy's going to be there. HB's going to be there. Obviously, Johnny and Polly, and it's going to be a great time. And then the Slider Bar later at night, and then, of course, my friend Shannon's bachelorette party. We're just going to be celebrating all night long. So I feel like we're going to have to get there early because no resis for us.
All right. We'll make it happen.
Or anybody for that matter.
We'll make it happen.
We're just like the regular public. There's no special service.
I love it.
All right. Let's get to week 7. All right. We want to recap Thursday night's game, which I'm still upset about. I ended up going with New Orleans. Dumb choice. Jacksonville took the win on that one. And so I need to win money in my spread, and I didn't. And what do you want to say about you feel bad for the kid that didn't catch the ball?
Yeah, and I thought this was actually a good football game. Of course, Jacksonville now 5-2, fourth straight win, 31-24 over New Orleans in this one. New Orleans loses now of 4 or 5 since a 2-0 start. Of course, that one win sandwich in there was against our Patriots. Okay, so but no, Trevor Lawrence playing with a sprained knee in this game,
and he was running a lot.
Yeah, he played really well, and he handed off to Travis Etienne Jr., who had his 3rd straight game with 2 touchdowns. So it's big for them, and they got a late touchdown from Christian Kirk, 44 yards to the house for the game winner. But it was really sad to see that Derek Carr did drive them down for a possible game-tying touchdown late, and the tight end Foster Moreau. He dropped a gimme in the corner of the end zone, and I just felt terrible after the game.
Did he pull a Parker?
No, I don't know what Parker did. I think he had alligator arms. This kid just he had butterfingers. It went right off the tip of the finger. It was tough because it was right on the money. Cobb put it right there. And of course, they would have still had to make the extra point, which probably would have made.
Yeah, well, not really because the kicker sucks.
All right. No, their kicker's the kid. No,
their kicker missed 2 field goals in the beginning of the game. If you watch the beginning of the game, the defense got 2 turnovers. They could do nothing with it.
Okay, so that would have been my next point. Maybe they wouldn't have, and they would have went for 2 in the win.
They should have.
Okay, but going into that game, he's the kid who banged 2 over 50 against the Patriots. Remember when we talked about how...
Well, that doesn't matter. The Patriots are playing against Cranston West.
He's still going to make the kick. That has nothing to do with our personnel.
Well, because I guess you're a little more loosey-goosey.
But he was the kid I told you was undrafted, but yet we blew a 4th-round pick on Chad Ryland. What are we doing over here? But no, I felt bad. There was some guys that were really good on his teammates were consoling him after the game. I mean, he really feels like, in these games with 17-game season, that's the difference between a win and a loss right off the fingertips. And I did a little homework on him. He's actually, I believe, their starting tight end. He's 26 years old out of LSU. Jimmy Graham, who's on a banana peel, he's still there, back for a second tour there. He's 36 years old right now, but he's only got 1 catch on the season. So this kid was actually their guy. Corner of the end zone was a perfect throw. It wasn't meant to be. So I felt a little bit tough for the kid, but not a New Orleans fan, so I didn't really, bother me because I'm not a car guy. But I do like Lawrence, and I do like the Jags a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be playing. I should have double-checked when I made my pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to today. Vegas and Chicago. Chicago getting 2.5. What are you thinking?
Jess, I feel like there's a lot of games this week. It's just like, I'm just like, all right, go with the better team here. Now,
go
of course,
with what wins me money. Let's go.
Well, obviously, Garoppolo, he ended up in the hospital, a little back injury. We don't know who's quarterbacking in this one.
Porn stars
and when he does
now.
play, I just don't have any faith in him. But the Bears, I took them at home. I took them in an upset last week over Minnesota. You liked Minnesota, and you were right. I was wrong. I'm not taking Fields as much as
isn't he hurt? He can't grab his...
Yeah, Fields is banged up, so they're in trouble. The Bears, they're looking for the... They're looking for the sweepstakes, and they've got, they believe, the number 1 pick because they made that trade. So they have the number 1 pick already,
that's right. With
I
Houston,
think. So
they did the trade.
They've got their pick, or they've got Carolina's pick. There were some deals that went down. So, but they already have, the Bears may not have their quarterback, but the Carolina Panthers have their quarterback already, whether we like them or not. So if they were to get one, it may not be Caleb Williams. That's a whole nother story. But
right, they won't need it.
In this one, I'm going to take Vegas on the road because I think both teams stink. But, I think McDaniels is finding a way to at least get a couple of wins. Devontae Adams already is not happy there. I think he's had 6.
Well, he wants the ball, and they're not giving it to him.
6 catches the last 2 weeks. He wants more, and I don't blame him. He's a $30 million player. Throw him the ball.
Like, even if you throw it, he'll get it. That's what I believe in. It's just like, that's why he's a professional. Just chuck it anywhere in his vicinity. He'll catch it, and then you get some extra yardage.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Cleveland at Indy. Indy getting 3 points. Cleveland, what in the world last week beating the 49ers? I mean, granted, the 49ers could have won with the kick, and they didn't, but I don't know. I'm feeling Cleveland. I feel like they're in a little bit of a hot streak, even without Watson.
And, of course, we like Minshew as a backup quarterback.
We do.
And it looks like right now he's a starting quarterback because it looks like Anthony Richardson's done for the season.
Yeah,
so he's going to have surgery. So, I mean, I still like Minshew. They're at home. But Cleveland on the road, I think it's their defense that's keeping them in the games because, Watson's not even in there. That kid P.J. Walker threw a couple of bad picks, and they still won that game.
Yeah.
San Francisco's kicker missed 2, and obviously the game winner at the end could have made it 20-19 for the win. McCaffrey and Debo got hurt in that game, so that was a factor too. But just goes to show you lose a couple of guys. Purdy looked a little ordinary for a while there, but I love Cleveland's defense. I'm going to take them on the road.
All right, very good. All right, Buffalo and New England. We got Buffalo. That's easy.
Not
Sweep
giving
right
it
over
any
that.
run.
Not even needing to talk about it. Washington at the Giants. Giants getting 2.5. Is Daniel Jones back? No.
I think Tyrod Taylor is still going to be playing in this one.
He looked good.
He played well. He's one of the better backups in the NFL. He's a starter for Buffalo. I don't think he's that good, but I think to bridge it to get Jones back, I'm going to take the Giants at home, even though they haven't looked good this year. They've only got 1 win. Washington burns me. Every time I pick them, they do whatever. They do the opposite of what I want them to do.
Oh, so then maybe I should get Washington.
Oh, wow.
All right, that's Washington for me. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay giving them 2.5. Tampa Bay lost last week. I feel like Baker is going to bounce back, and I'm taking Tampa Bay at home.
Yeah, and I'm going to take them too, and that is my pick of the week, okay?
Oh, okay,
I'm taking Tampa Bay, and I'm tired of going with Atlanta every time. They're the epitome of everything. Every time I bet them, they lose. Every time I go
Maybe
against them, they
watch
win.
the show on YouTube.
Oh, wow. That's a lot right there.
They're like, stick it to Dean.
Desmond Ridder, 3 touchdowns 1 week, 3 picks another week. I just have I don't get it. That coach looks like he's not going to make it through the season. He's going to have an ulcer. But they're actually got some wins so far this year.
Aneurysm.
I'm taking Tampa. I think Mayfield's done okay there, so I'm going to take them. It's a small spread, so that's for the Greek Assassin. That's my pick of the week.
Very nice. Detroit at Baltimore. Baltimore giving them 3. found that to be interesting. I know it's a home field advantage thing. I'm still going Detroit. I don't care. I'm going with them until they burn me.
Yeah, and Baltimore's already burned me a couple of times, but I'm going to go against you on this one. I'm going Baltimore in this one.
Really?
Yes, I am. Like I said, I think most of the problems with the Ravens was a lot of drops. I think once they get it together, and Flowers, the kid had a nice game. I think he had 6 grabs. I do love what Soup Campbell's doing in Detroit. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with. So I definitely don't begrudge your pick, but I'm going to go Baltimore.
All right, Pittsburgh at the Rams. The Rams giving them 3. Pittsburgh, what's going on with them? Did they have a bye week last week?
Yeah,
right?
they're 3-2, and I'm saying to myself, how do they have 3 wins? Because they've been awful this year. I think Watt's got like 8 sacks already, though. He's terrific. He's terrific. Stafford can throw it. Now he's got Cooper Kupp back to go with the kid with the funny name. So they definitely got something going there. I'm gonna take the Rams at home.
Now we should probably look up what the kid. Steve, look up what the kid's funny name.
No, it's Puka Nakora.
Oh, Nakora, yeah. All right, well, the funny. All right, very good. I wanted to make sure that we knew. All right, Steve is just like, I'm on my phone. I'm sending texts to my girlfriend. He's like, I don't need to be paying attention. Arizona at Seattle. Seattle giving them 8. I'm still going with Seattle because they are my suicide pick this week.
All right, and I think 8's a lot, but I think even when they lose, they're in games.
Yeah,
and I think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, and he rebuilt that defense. It's a different team than it was back in the old Legion of Boom days, but I like this team. Kid Walker's been running the ball pretty well. I don't know about the 8, but I like Seattle to win this football game for sure.
Definitely. Green Bay at Denver. Denver getting one at home. They suck. That's a I don't know. I'm going Green Bay.
I don't know. My gut tells me, and as bad as they are, I'm taking Denver at home in this one. And I think Jordan Love is, in that little not rookie wall. It's still early in the season, but he's been playing like a guy that hasn't played much football. He's a kid who really hasn't played a lot of football. So it's like I'm gonna go Denver with Wilson. They definitely need a win just to keep the media off their back.
I know, but I also don't want them to have a win because I can't stand what's the coach. Sean Payton.
Yeah, he's become unlikable real quick.
Yeah, he really has. So you know what? Stick it to him. I'm going Green Bay.
We're sticking it.
Yeah. So we got the Rams at Kansas City. Kansas City giving them 5.5. Will Taylor Swift be at the game? I don't know. Maybe she'll be in the luxury box.
Okay, so
if Taylor Swift's there, they seem to do well.
I'm all done. I'm tired of hearing about that now. Enough's enough.
Shake it off, Dean. Shake it off.
Mahomes just got a little bit of help as they let in the offseason. They let wide receiver McCole Hardman go to the Jets. He was featured in Hard Knocks a little bit. That was one of the Jets' wide receiver acquisitions. Traded back to Kansas City, so he gets one of his weapons back. He's comfortable in that system. I think he'll help out. I like Kansas City in this game.
Definitely. This game, I'm very interested, and I want to know what your pick's going to be because I'll see if we match. Miami, tonight. Miami at Philly. Philly giving them 2.5. Philly acquiring Julio Jones, which that's nice to have, but he's also 47 years old.
No, he's been checked out for 5 years. He hasn't been good He hasn't been good since he made that catch.
So why
didn't
the Patriots get him?
No, yeah, right, exactly. But he was swelling. He hasn't been good since he made that catch in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots, the one that they obviously right before they blew the game. Right. But he hasn't been good in 5 years. So I don't care about Julio Jones. This one's a tough one, Jess. I've seen some panels of some experts. I've seen one panel of 5 guys all picked Miami. Yeah. And I've seen on another station 5 people pick the Dolphins. That's a tough one.
No, you mean Eagles, yeah.
Eagles, yeah. So I've seen two, contrasting picks on this one. I'll be honest with you, this is a tough one.
I know.
I don't like the way Philly's playing.
I don't either. They lost to the Jets, but they're going to lose again.
I love the way the Dolphins are playing, but they're on the road in this one. This is coin flip city, and to me, this is the game of the week. I think this is the best matchup of the week. So it's going to be nice that this will be the only game on NBC on Sunday night. Tonight at 8:20. I'm going to take a shot here. I love what McDaniel's doing in Miami, but I'm going to go Philly at home.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough one.
I want Miami to win, but then they lost so bad to the Bills, and I'm like, the Bills aren't that good.
Yeah,
I'm going Miami.
Oh wow!
Just to make it fun.
Yeah.
All right, and then
it's fun. This is fun.
This is fun until I get all bent on Sunday night. I'm like, son of a! I should have listened to Dean. I lost out on $500. All right, so which I came in second last week.
What do you get for second?
0.
Yeah. That's what they say.
Anyway, first loser.
Always what is it? Always
bridesmaid, never the bride. Generally, I'm always a bridesmaid. All right, so we got San Francisco at Minnesota. This is tomorrow night's matchup. Minnesota getting 7. Is McCaffrey back in? I don't think so.
McCaffrey and Samuel, they're not ruled out. So
okay.
They're both questionable at this point. So obviously, if Purdy's got his weapons, I'm going San Fran in this game.
Definitely.
Cousins got to win. He needs more. But without Justin Jefferson, I think they're going to be hard pressed. But they are at home. I'll still take San Fran. I don't think they lose 2 in a row.
All right, very good. That is our Week 7 roundup around the league. We're going to thank our sponsors, and then we're going to go to the NBA. Want to thank our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence, and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up, 487-4343. We also want to thank Second Time Around Sports. We were there yesterday in Wakefield. The footage, just wait until I put that video together. Second Time Around Sports. Now, they don't just have Wakefield. Obviously, they're located in Cranston. That was their OG. If you love winter and you love winter weather, Second Time Around Sports is ready for the ski and snowboarding season. Dean and I officially out of that season. I'll end up breaking a hip. I can't. Their stores are fully stocked with snowboards and skis. They have goggles, boots, gloves, ski poles, and more. And, of course, they have new and used. But if you want everything new and you can't get to one of the stores, say you just want to browse online, everysportforless.com. That's everysportforless.com. We're talking about Second Time Around Sports. You can follow them on social media, the number 2X Around Sports. Let's go to some basketball. Unless you wanted to say something. I feel like I cut you off.
You did
You
not.
were just getting to the mic because you were like falling asleep.
No, I'm just excited about the NBA season starting up.
I'm with you.
At the end of the day, I feel like this lineup right here with Drew Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis is the lineup that's going to close games. And let me say this real quick. Starting in the NBA, you never take it for granted, but it's so overrated. It's like when you want to be in there, it's when it's in the thick of things in the fourth quarter. It's a possession by possession. The crowd is into it. It's intense. I started, every game in 2008, and I averaged like 28 minutes a game, but I was never in there in the fourth quarter. Doc would go small with James Posey and Kevin Garnett, and I used to wonder, forget having your name called. That's the time that you actually want to be in the moment. It's in the fourth quarter. So it's about who finished the game to me.
All right, that's Perk talking about the best five. I mean, honestly, I am so excited about this Celtics season. I like that they went all in. I love how they're looking in preseason. I even think I saw some interviews with Joe Mazzulla. He seems a little more relaxed, maybe because he knows this is his job. I don't think it's a bad thing that Jeff Van Gundy's there now. So I feel... What?
I like where you're going with this.
I'm excited.
I was going to say Jeff Van Gundy. How many babysitters are you going to bring in for this guy? Like seriously, they need him to be a consultant. Brad Stevens does a great job upstairs. They need
Maybe
Jeff
he doesn't
Van Gundy.
feel like it.
Okay, all right. It just seems
Maybe
like
he wants to go hang out with his kids.
They brought Sam Cassell in. As far as the Missoula thing, I think you're onto something here. I think it's also a comfort level. It's his. Don't forget, last year he was just that happened 5 weeks before camp. What are we doing here? Now it's his job. He's a little more secure. They put a nice team in front of him. Now you got to go out and coach it.
Yeah.
I love this roster, and I like what Perk said. It's about who finishes the game, but that starting five is lethal.
It is.
If Porzingis stays healthy, I think he is the X factor this year because with him in there, if he's a healthy Porzingis, he can guard down low, 2 blocks a game. He can, pick and pop on the perimeter. He's 7'3", gives them a lot of length. It's going to be really tough to know who to guard because you got Tatum, Brown. There's a lot of weapons on this team.
No, definitely. And even, you said that the bench is a little bit thinner this year, but I think we'll be all right. I feel like if we have the main guys rest them up for a little bit. And it was weird last year how they would rest. Sometimes they would rest Tatum and Brown together.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll switch that up this year and just do one at a time or something like that, just to balance it out.
Well, don't forget you lost both Williams, so now of course you got average Al, who's not going to play back to back. So you're a little thin up front. Luke Cornett, I don't know if he's even going to make the team. The season starts this week. They're still trying to round out this roster. I think Peyton Pritchard's going to be an X factor off the bench. He just got his new $30 million contract. I think he's going to do a nice job for the Celtics.
Yeah, I'll do a nice job for $30 million as well.
You're not big on the white kicks, but anyways,
No.
I think he's going to have a nice season.
shouldn't match his leg.
Sam,
Get a spray tan, bro.
Sam Hauser got a little tired near the end of the season, but he can hit the 3 ball. They got a couple of kids off the bench. The kid O'Shea Brissett they brought over from Indiana. I think he's going to be a factor. He's more of a defensive, like lunch pail type guy, an energy guy. I think he's going to bring something to the roster. I do think they are a little thin. They maybe they have a little bit of money left. Maybe they can make a move at the deadline to add a depth piece. It would be a big because I like their mix right now with Holiday and White. It's a nice squad.
I'm banking on them being the championship team. I'm banking on them winning, and I think that's what the coaches and the management wants them to do. However, there is some competition around the league. Let's start with the Bucks. How are you feeling about them? Because they have some peeps that we wanted.
Yeah, but Jess, I talk about being thin with our second unit with the Celtics. I look at this Milwaukee team; they're all in. They know that Giannis isn't going to stay for another contract unless they give him help. Now they didn't want to lose Jrue Holiday. He's a class guy and a good locker room guy and a great player.
Yeah.
But you got to give up to get. And you got Dame Lillard, a top maybe 15 or 20 offensive player of all time. He's a terrific offensive player. So it makes their starting 5 maybe a little bit better than Boston's, but not as deep as Boston's.
Right, that's what
because now you got Chris Middleton, who's been hurt the last couple of years. You lost Holiday. You don't have the same bench you had. They did bring Cameron Payne in as a backup point guard. He backed Chris Paul up in Phoenix, so he's going to be
had to do that.
He's going to be the backup point guard to Dame Lillard there. So there's they got him. I told you I love Bobby Portis off the bench. You still got Brook Lopez as a starting center. His twin brother Robin Lopez is going to back him up as the backup center.
And where is Jennifer Lopez going to be?
Oh, this is a lot.
Nowhere to be found.
She's in the Instagram picture of you and her from a few years ago. I just want everyone to know
more than
that.
a few years. I wish I was this thin when I met her.
Well, you're thin again, though.
I know, but I wasn't thin when I met her. My face was like double the size.
I just wanted to let it be known. Jess and J-Lo have a picture on our Instagram. Jess and Dean keeping score.
Yeah,
But
anyway.
this Milwaukee roster, they're going to be right there because they got two first ballot Hall of Famers in Lillard and Giannis, the Greek Freak.
Yep.
But after that, I think that their starting 5 does thin out. Now they got Pat Connaughton. He's going to be the starting 2 guard. He's the kid that came over from Portland a few years ago. He was actually drafted by the Orioles as a pitcher, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I think he took the right path. He went basketball. But I think they're going to be a little bit.
You're throwing 95-mile-per-hour basketballs. I feel like somebody's going to have a problem.
He actually can shoot the 3 ball, but they are a little bit thinner. They got rid of DiVincenzo a couple of years ago, so I think that their depth is going to be tested,
all right,
to say the least. But I do like them. They're going to be a contender.
Obviously, the Nuggets have to defend their title. And how do you feel about them? I've seen so many videos of
Joker.
Yeah, in like his country, like dancing, and he looks like he's on a chair. He is just that much taller than everybody. Like he is.
I told you.
I don't know. I love that guy.
I told you around the All-Star break last year, Jess, stop following him. You're going to be excited about it, and you are.
Yeah, I love him.
And of course, Jamal Murray back from that ACL from 2 years ago. He looks like he's back
100%.
full strength. So they got it going. Those two, that 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Look out for Bruce Brown, who left in free agency, got a ton of money to go to Indiana. He was their little glue guy though. The guy who got all the little hustle plays for them. Jeff Green, the veteran, he's out of town. He went to Houston to help that young team over there. Look out for the kid Julian Strother. He came out of Gonzaga, first round pick. He's going to get some minutes or a chance to play. And the kid Christian Brown, the kid that looks like Braun, but it's Brown.
Yes, he was good.
The kid out of Kansas. So they got some pieces off the bench. I still like that team. Michael Porter Jr. has to play better. He has to improve on defense. He's a little bit one-dimensional, but of course, as long as you got Joker and Murray, I still love the Nuggets out west.
Michael Porter Jr. graduate from Mizzou,
Yes.
which is a station that I do shows for. Did you hear voices somewhere?
All right.
I just heard voices. All right. Anyway, maybe it's just in my head.
I've heard many voices.
Do you think they have the opportunity to defend the title? Do you think they're that strong, or do you think that the Bucks and the Celts are just gonna? I don't know.
Well, in the East, obviously, Bucks and Celts, I think are going to be 1-2.
Well, yeah, right.
Oh, Celtics,
No,
Bucks,
I'm saying,
open. Yeah, you're looking at the whole landscape.
Yeah, because then I want to talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, you got Denver out west. I think don't forget about Phoenix with Durant. I know you think he's paper thin and he gets hurt a lot, but they did bring Bradley Beal in. That's a big.
He gets hurt doing a layup in warm-ups.
Well, it's a big. He did.
Yeah, I know.
But that's a big move for them. They brought Bradley Beal in. There's 25 a game. You got Devin Booker. They've got 3 guys right there. Now the question is, how's the rest of that roster?
Yeah.
They got rid of CP3. They got rid of Cam
Bye.
Payne. Yeah, they got rid of a lot of those guys, and it's going to be interesting. And another team you haven't brought up, and I know that they're old now, is before you get into the Lakers. You haven't brought up the Golden State Warriors. As long as Steph Curry's playing, you think they're yesterday's news?
I'm all set.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm all done with them.
Writing them off.
Yeah, I really am. I didn't even put them in. I actually have the Lakers up there because I think that's going to be a big year for them because of. I didn't think they were going to get as far as they did last year, and they showed up.
Yeah, they took it to the Western Conference Finals versus Denver, and they did add some pieces. I think the kid Austin Reeves, they re-signed him. He's going to be a year better. Mm-hmm. They re-signed some of their spare parts. Rui Hachimura, who they got in the trade from Washington, he's got a full year under his belt. They re-signed him, and they got the kid Jared Vanderbilt back. Those are like kind of glue guys, hustle guys. But of course, it's all about LeBron and the health. And at 38, almost 39, can he get through a full season and get it done? And of course, they paid the unibrow a lot of money, so it's time to like step up and play 80 games and get it done. Because with those two guys, they could be a viable, contestant to Denver
they could be a
in the
threat.
West. Yeah.
All right, so that's the NBA roundup. Is there anything that you would like to add? I mean, do you want to talk about the Heat or no?
I think the Heat, to me, it's a team that's disappointing because they're so well coached by Spoelstra.
Yes.
I just don't think their talent level. Butler's getting a little bit old now. Adebayo was a little up and down. They've got a lot of like undrafted guys on that team that just overachieve. So they go farther because he coaches them up so well. When they get to the finals, they just come up short, and I don't think they're going to get through. I don't think they can get through. No, I don't think they're going to go that far this year. As far as one player to look out for, of course, we're all looking out west.
Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama. We're going to see what he does in San Antonio. He's 7'3".
He was like dunking from the 3-point line.
No, it's crazy.
His wingspan is ridiculous.
I'm going to guess TNT's going to have them on TV a lot. You're going to see a lot of their games because I'd like to watch him.
He just looks so weak, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're 7'3", it's kind of tough to have a lot of bulk on
but
that
it's like
frame.
You go, just blow him over. I don't know. That was good for radio. Luckily, we're on YouTube, so you can see me just blow at the screen. Thank you very much.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited. NBA starts this week. I think the Celtics play the Knicks the first night. Yep. Tom Thibodeau, the head coach there, he's trying to get it done with Jalen Brunson. They got a nice little team there. They did pick up Dante DiVincenzo in free agency. He's a nice player too, but not a guy that's going to get you over the hump. It's all about Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Brunson. That's their big three there. So I think the Knicks will be in the middle of the Eastern Conference this year, but not at the top of it.
I can't wait to make my picks. I realize that I'm better at gambling at basketball than I am for football, so I'm excited about that.
Wow.
I'm also excited for PJ's Pub 15-year anniversary. That's all happening October 28th. So this upcoming Saturday, it's going all day. We're talking 1 to 3 with Dave McGinn, 3 to 6 with Kevin Hershon. DJ Primetime going to be spinning the rest of the night, 7 to 1 a.m. Obviously, drink neutral that night. You get yourself a raffle ticket. You can enter to win a 55-inch flat screen TV. There will be liquor baskets. Unfortunately, no reservations because Dean and I already tried. It's just going to be a big party. There's going to be a slider bar. There's going to be candy stations. There's going to be a balloon artist. PJ's Pub. We're going to take my friend. We're going to have her bachelorette party there. We are going to be jam-packed. I'm talking about an all-day event. Their 15-year anniversary. PJ's Pub, 1139 Pontiac Ave in Cranston. Can you tell I'm pumped about it?
No, I'm psyched.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some good things. It's going to be a good night. Good time's going to be had by all.
Oh, you mean like winning the flat screen TV and a liquor basket? Speaking of liquor. All right. So anyway, let's talk some baseball news. All right. We got the ALDS, ALCS, AL, and NLCS.
Yes.
God, that was nice and smooth like butter. All right. Texans taking on Houston. Texas taking on Houston. Phillies, Diamondbacks. Obviously, haven't been watching as much as I should.
Listen.
I thought Philly was going to be.
Well, I mean, they jumped out 2-0
right.
with Nola and Wheeler
so
on the
then
bump.
I thought,
And the Diamondbacks came back on a nice win off former Red Sox closer Craig Kimbrell in Game 3. So there's a little bit of little rhythm to that series going on right now. I still like the Phillies.
Yeah.
In the National League, I think they're going to win the whole thing. Actually, I think Dombrowski put a team together. When those guys are hitting the long ball, and I tell you, when you've got Schwarber who's getting hot now,
which is so funny because he started the season at the Mets.
Yeah.
And then so did Verlander, and both of them.
No. So Schwarber's the guy who hits the home runs. Scherzer.
But they're both in it, aren't they?
Yeah, Scherzer's with Texas.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Yes,
so I'm still right.
You're in the game. But Schwarber, I'm talking about that lineup when they're hitting home runs. Kyle Schwarber will play for the Red Sox.
Okay.
He's the leadoff hitter for Phillies. He hit a couple of bombs the other night. He's getting hot. He didn't even hit 200 this year, but he did have 46 jacks.
Oh.
Okay? So when you got him hitting the long ball, you got Trey Turner, who came over in free agency, $300 million player.
Oh,
He's on fire
his
right now.
money is ridiculous.
Bryce Harper's doing his postseason thing. And I told you last week about the kid Nick Castellanos, the right fielder. He's been terrific. He's got like 6 home runs in the postseason. So when they're hitting like that, I just don't think you can stop the Phillies. And of course, the Arizona's given it a valiant effort after they swept the LA Dodgers.
Right.
I still like Philly. There's still a little bit left in that series. I still like the Phillies in this one. Their Game 3 starter was Ranger Suarez, who came into the other night with a 1.16 ERA in seven postseason appearances. Throws, I think he threw another 5 2/3 scoreless in this, so his ERA is under 1 in his postseason career. So he's a nice number 3 guy for Philly. I just think they have too much. They're just overwhelming for the Diamondbacks, but I like what the Diamondbacks are doing. Circle back, obviously, to Texas and Houston. Houston, they're battle tested. I know you don't like them.
No, I don't.
They lose the first 2 games at home, Jess. But it doesn't faze them. They go to Texas and win.
I was so hoping it was all over.
And back to the aforementioned Max Scherzer, who hasn't pitched in over a month. They decide to go with him in Game 3 at home.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't pan out, I think it was the right move by Bruce Bochy, who usually pushes all the right buttons because you didn't have a lot to lose there. You're up 2-0 in the series. You go with a Hall of Fame Cy Young type pitcher. The problem is he hadn't been battle tested. He hadn't been pitching for a while. They didn't know what they were going to get out of him. Houston likes to play on the road. They can't. I remember 2019 when they played the Washington Nationals.
I don't remember yesterday.
Well, I remember it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, in that series, not one team won a home game. So obviously,
really?
Houston had the home field that year.
Yeah.
They lost all 4 games in their own building, and the Nationals lost all 3 games in their home, but they won the World Series. They won the important game, which was Game 7. So my point is, you go look at Houston now. They lost the first 2 games. It didn't faze them. They went to Texas and won the first 2 there.
Yeah.
So, and of course, my guy Nathan Eovaldi, the other night in Game 2, I text you. I said, "There's a guy you're looking at greatness right there."
I was watching the Kardashians.
What? But no, it was the 5th inning, okay?
I gotta balance it.
He had a little problem in the 5th inning of that game. He had a nice little cushion. He was up 5-0.
Yep.
Gave up a couple of solo home runs, but in the 5th inning, bases loaded, no outs. Josh Young made an error at third base. He bears down with bases loaded, no outs, and gets out of the inning.
Nice.
I think he struck Altuve out, Bregman, and got a ground ball. No, he is the real deal. Nathan Eovaldi is the guy that's going to take you to where you want to go, and I think that's a coin flip series right now with Texas and Houston.
Okay. I'm going Texas. I feel as though
because you hate Houston.
No, I don't like Altuve, but I like Verlander.
Altuve's been terrific.
He looks like
too.
he gained a little.
Well,
but I mean, that happens. He's like happily married, so. Yeah. But that maybe gives him more, heat behind the ball.
Yeah, right.
Is that what you think? So who do you do? You could send me a note. The rookie on Texas and the rookie on Philly. Who are these people? Who are these players that are sticking out for you that are really coming through?
This is why I love, like the Fall Classic, and I love baseball playoffs because and it's any sport, but there's always someone that's going to pop. Someone that you didn't see all season long. And I told you before the season, some of the rookies that I thought were going to be good, like Corbin Carroll for Arizona.
Yep.
He ended up with 25 homers and 50 stolen bases. All right, I hit that one. Told you about the kid Sal Frelick, your boy Sal over in Milwaukee.
Hey, yo,
you
Sal.
said, hey, Sal.
Sal, what are you doing? You want me on the hill?
Yeah, he came up midseason and helped Milwaukee get to the playoffs, and then they got ousted early. But the kid I'm looking at, one for the Phillies, okay, as you see it on the envelope, okay? It's concerning, but we're still going to nail it here. No, I'm looking at right-handed pitcher, relief pitcher. How about this name? Orion Kirkering, okay?
Oh,
and the reason
sounds like a song.
The reason why I took a liking to him is because he came up late in the season, okay? He's a 22-year-old rookie. He only pitched a little bit down the stretch for the Phillies. He had his father at all the games. His father was at his first game.
Yeah, he cried the whole time, right?
He's still been, he's at all the playoff games. You see him looking up, and his father's in the stands. They keep showcasing him.
Yeah.
But this is no joke here. This kid's like, he's a closer in waiting. He's gonna take Kimbrel's spot eventually. But I think he's gonna contribute to why the Phillies are gonna win the World Series. Now, he didn't have it Thursday night versus Arizona. He gave up the tying run. They took him out. But he's had a 2.25 ERA down the stretch for them. And he's had he's been really good. He's given up 1 earned run in the playoffs so far. He's been lights out. He throws high 90s fastball with movement on it, and he's got a wipeout, which they call the sweeper now. It's a slider. Okay, but they're renaming everything. Okay,
what?
But he's the guy that I think is going to be in more high leverage situations because there was a game last week, Jess, where he did mop up in a 10-0 game. He finished it off, struck out the side in the ninth. I see him in more high leverage situations in that bullpen for Philadelphia to help Rob Thompson's team out. So he's the guy I like in the National League.
So they say the sweeper is the new what?
I think they call the sweeper the slider. I know which way it goes. I've seen a slider my whole life.
Well, what about this pitch?
Throwing curveball.
Curveballs.
You were due. I don't think you're going to see me throwing many more of those.
Sad.
But,
hurry up. We got 13
okay.
minutes. I know you're very passionate about this, and you just know I'm never going to question you on any of these stats. Just so you know, you're safe.
Right.
You could be like an ERA of 746.
Yeah,
I'll be like, can you believe it?
Okay, yeah, really.
Holy crap.
All right, the kid I love in the American League is for the Texas Rangers.
Yes.
Is left fielder Evan Carter. 21 years old. He got called up. He was in Double-A 2 months ago. Okay,
wow. Wow.
He went from AA to AAA, and Adalis Garcia, the right fielder, got hurt. Was a 30 home run, 100 RBI guy. He's back. He hit a home run the other night. They've got Carter in left field now. He's a mainstay. Okay, he came up. He for the end of the season for Texas, 306, 5 homers in 23 games. But so far in his first 7 postseason games, he's had a hit in every single game. He went from batting low in the order down in the 7th slot. He's hitting 3rd now after Marcus Semien and Corey Seager. So he's right in the middle of that order. Bruce Bochy has a ton of confidence in this kid. This kid's got ice water in his veins. He's confident.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a good time out there, and he's a guy that I think can propel Texas. As you're saying, you'd like to see the Rangers win.
Yeah.
I like Evan Carter hitting 321 in the postseason in the 3-hole for the Texas Rangers.
I hope you just didn't jinx him.
Oh, wow.
Well, like it's ice water.
Putting the
It's like ice in his veins, and then all of a sudden it's just like,
guy's gonna go get the golden sombrero and strike out 4 times. I'm putting the whammies on him.
I don't know. Watch what you have to say. There's a lot of power behind your words.
This kid's cool, and he's made some great catches in the outfield. He had a big home run off Danny Eflin in the Zach Eflin in the what do you call it? The ALDS, the wild card round against Tampa. So he's just been a clutch player for them. Came out of nowhere. 21 years old. So you got a 21-year-old left fielder and a 22-year-old relief pitcher who I think is going to make some waves in this postseason.
And the thing is, Dean would like to date a 22-year-old or a 21-year-old.
That's graphic.
Let's thank our sponsors, and then we're going to do quick hockey, and then we have birthdays. We don't want to miss that. Our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at prouthvac.com. That's prouthvac.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini-split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence, and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up, 487-4343. We also want to thank Second Time Around Sports with locations in Cranston and in Wakefield. Winter is practically here, and if you are in good shape and you have a core, then you must love snowboarding. Even skiing, they have everything you need: goggles, boots, gloves, ski poles, and more. And of course, if you do play hockey or if you figure skate, just so you know, they have skate sharpening daily where you can wait or you can just drop off the skates and pick them up later. They got everything you need there, and they obviously have both stores fully stocked with every sport. We're talking hockey, soccer, football, always golf. And if you're looking for something used, they got it for you for a cheaper price. But if you want something new, they also got that for you too. Check them out online, everysportforless.com. They have new items only on everysportforless.com. But if you want to check them out, definitely do that on social media, the number 2X Around Sports. We were just there yesterday. A video is going to be posted. We did some shopping, and I think I'm going to get some more pickleball stuff. I think pickleball is going to be my new jam.
That's the play?
I think so.
Right.
But I don't know where to play. I just maybe in the studio or something like that. Second Time Around Sports. Once again, thanking them. And now we're getting to hockey.
Pastrnak, the serpentine route. Scores! You could have hung a handkerchief from the corner of the goal, and it would have had a hole in it.
I liked it when right in the top corner. Disguised it. Looked like Louis Tion, right, on the mound. Brought it back behind, and
I was thinking, like, I'm mad. I'm still mad at the Bruins, but I'm not. I'm actually kind of excited about the season, and I believe we're friends again.
Yeah, just like, myself, and we move on in life. It's like I'm trying to get past some things, and things are good.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Bounce back
Last year was
nicely.
tough. That was a tough one to win so many games and go out like that. But new season, new slate.
And not bad.
Not the same personnel, but you still got a lot of your good players back. McAvoy, you still got Marchand, you still got, listen, Bergeron retired, Krejci's gone. But, Lucic comes back a lot older. But still, we're going to see how it all plays out. The Bruins, of course, off to a nice start. They won their first 3 games.
Yep.
They're on the road trip now, playing out west. Got a nice win Thursday night over the San Jose Sharks. So they're starting out nice. Allmark's got 2 wins already. Pastrnak, 5 goals and 4 assists. So already, I kind of like where this season's going. I'm trying to feel my way through to see some of the different line combinations and how they play things out. But I'm excited about a new season and putting last year behind us.
Yeah, and definitely just like take it as it comes.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll see what
I'm not just
we'll
going to put all
happens.
my eggs in one basket. And now that I should be upset about this, like if the Celtics don't win, then I'm going to be disappointed. But for the Bruins right now, I'm just like, go play your sport, fellas.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
We'll see in the spring for playoffs, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to get to birthdays?
I do.
All right, it is Sunday, October 22nd. Who is born?
All right, I got a bunch here, okay? Of course, you don't know Jimmy Fox. He played for the Red Sox at the end of his career.
Of course I know Jamie Foxx.
Oh, wow. This is Jimmy Fox,
Oh,
okay?
my bad.
He was a slugger for the Athletics for years and then played for the Red Sox at the end of his career, but obviously this is going way back. Born in 1907, passed away in 1967. And by the way, just so you know, his character was sort of like how they morphed into the character of Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own. Jimmy Dugan is really Jimmy Fox, kind of. Okay, so that's because he ended up coaching women's baseball after. So that's kind of how that make that parallel.
So not the guy that played Ray Charles.
not the guy who played Ray Charles.
Okay, all right, very good. Next.
All right, I think you'll know this name, Jess. How about Ichiro Suzuki? From the Seattle Mariners, the guy who was very fast, used to score and get a lot of hits. He was terrific.
Yes, I
Played
do.
for the Yankees briefly at the end of his career. He was washed up.
Yep.
He turned 50 today.
Oh, wow.
Okay, how about this? He won Rookie of the Year in 2001. I don't really like that because you're not really a rookie if you played 9 years in Japan, but that's the rule. It's Major League Rookie here. Yeah. But he actually won Rookie of the Year in 2001 and MVP. So that's how good Ichiro was. And by the way, I think he hit 6 home runs that year. So usually guys that win MVP hit home runs.
Yeah, of course.
He was a guy who did it with his legs. He used to get 220 hits every year. He'd hit ground balls to second and beat him out. He was a special player. And a great right field and a rocket for an arm. Yeah, Ichiro was special. And still to this day, Seattle has a good pipeline for Japanese players. They got a lot of good players from Japan through Ichiro. So, hopefully send some of that over to Boston and we can get Ohtani.
That's what I was thinking. That's where Pedro thinks Ohtani's coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's see how
I don't have that
plays
audio,
out.
but I did hear him say
good
that.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Former Celtic coach and now general manager Brad Stevens is 47.
He's
oh
my God, only a year older than me?
But of course, listen, he's done
What's it like to be successful?
He's done such a great job as a GM, a lot better than I thought he would do. I always saw him going back to college as a college coach. I always saw that as an ending point for him.
Well, maybe that will be the case.
But he's done a great job as a GM. I think he should just leave it alone. He's done a great job building this Celtic team up this year. Brad Stevens is 47. One of your guys, my last athlete for the week, Robinson Cano is 41.
Oh, yes, second base.
Yeah, 8-time All-Star and a World Series champ for your Yankees in 2009, the last time they won it. Cano was I think he was an elite player at his position for a good 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
I think he got the big money with Jay-Z representing him, and when he went to Seattle,
That's it.
and then he started with the enhancements, and his career kind of went sideways, and he kind of fizzled out quick.
He looked better in the pinstripes.
Robbie Cano was a great Yankee, number 24.
Yes.
Okay. And I got 2 actors for you.
Ooh, good.
Jeff Goldblum is The Fly, 71. I'm gonna keep it brief on that.
Freaks me out. Good in those commercials.
And one of my favorite actors of all time, one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite shows of all time is 85 today. It would be Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, Back to the Future.
So you see him as Doc Brown on
course.
Back to the Future, and I totally agree with you.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, he's been in some movies. He was in a great baseball movie called Angels in the Outfield, where he's sort of the angel. Okay.
Yep.
And but I see him as Jim Ignatowski, the bust-out cab driver in the show Taxi.
Oh, yes.
From 77 to 82. He came on the second season.
I was just born.
He came on the second season, so he was Jim Ignatowski. They sort of helped him get his life back because he went to like Princeton, but he flamed out on drugs, and then they rekindled, made him a cab driver. The show Taxi is one of my top 3 shows of all time. It's Cheers, Taxi, and Seinfeld. Those are my top 3. So
Seinfeld is not number 1?
I haven't categorized which one's 1, 2, or 3. Those are my top 3.
That's the only one I got a little sound from.
All right, so those are my birthdays for October 22nd.
All right, so this is our final 3 minutes of the show. This is where we kind of go through the week and what was and what could have been. But last week we were talking about A Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
And Steve, our producer, Steve, get on a camera here. He's the one that's doing all our YouTube editing, and God, there's a lot of it, and video work. Steve Cunningham is his name. He is a jack of all trades, and so what was said we were talking about a Bronx Tale, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 9 years old.
Yeah, I get it. He was 9 years old, but I mean, I was probably not even born when The Godfather came out. So like, step it up and make the adjustment. So when I mentioned it, he said, I never saw that. I was like, my face turned white. So I'm like, come on. I'm like, all right, we got to make the adjustment on that. Now listen, we all know I'm not the technical savvy guy. We all know that.
Yes.
And I know if you even saw the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, where Steve Carell tells the girl that he likes that, that's a dead technology. So in a couple of years, it'll be useless.
Yes.
So I still thought you had DVD players, okay? I guess they don't exist anymore. But I guess you can still put movies in, like if you have a PS5 or something like that. So I guess you can make the adjustment there. So I got a little present for you that I think I'd be very disappointed if you don't follow up and take 2 hours to watch this with your girlfriend. But right here, I'm going to post it up here on YouTube.
On DVD.
One of the great movies of all time, Availability. Chaz Palminteri, he's obviously the mobster, and of course you got Robert De Niro, and of course Colangelo. We talked about him last week.
Awesome.
So a Bronx Tale. I'm hoping that you watch it.
I sure will.
You have greatness in front of it. I just want you to know that.
You have homework, Steve.
It's funny. An old friend of mine that I used to work with in my last job told me about this movie, and she was like, "You've never seen it?" I said, "No." She said, "You need to see this movie," and I just never did.
Now on
and
DVD.
I got it.
I'm happy you have it. We're glad that we mic'd you up, but make the adjustment. Stop pounding the pavement over here. Right? If we're going to mic you up, make the adjustment. This is your show that you're producing, so make the adjustment on that.
I like that he's calling out
late innings on keeping score here.
All right, we got 1 minute left. We wanted to do our gift, obviously, first. Keeping Score merch is coming soon. Do quick. You're not playing baseball anymore? What happened? You lost in the championship?
Next year. We shanked game 2, and then game 3 I wasn't there, and I didn't factor in, but it looks like we kind of hit a wall. But it was a great season overall. Congratulations to the Sea Dogs. I don't know what my future is in baseball. 10 on Sunday. Basketball is the play right now.
Yeah, right.
So we'll keep that going, stay in shape, and feeling good about
myself. Yeah, you got to stay in shape.
Oh,
you got to make sure you have that endurance. You know what I'm talking about, Dean?
I play better the next morning
I
usually.
Bet you do. This is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream. We are on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're also on Instagram, and of course, you can find us wherever you find your podcast. This is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream, every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on 790 The Score.
Let's do this again next week.
All right, sounds good. It's a date.